So, I hope you like to talk.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What's your name?
My name's Jesse.
Jesse.
Americans are getting a stimulus this month, but you can get it.
Took my family away from my Carolina home.
I can get that stimulus.
The West and started to roam.
I'd like to give them some stimulus. Fucking hot lead injections.
They say
Save
heaven's
that
at the end, but so far it's been
for
hell.
Franklin.
And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the
I got a
air.
handful of him ever run
Going them hills,
You
and
are.
it's waiting for me there.
I know he'll hide behind his little keyboard.
Not
Keyboard
just,
warrior.
we shoot from the hip, so just roll with the punches.
Keyboard Rainbow.
We'll grab whatever questions we can from the camera. So you don't have to try to keep looking, but if you see something, if you want to answer, go ahead. Normally we'll give that person, we'll shout them out like, where Doug wants to know,
Dance hall girls were the evening treat. Empty cartridges and blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man she couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Waiting for me there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Man, did I have a day on a cold tin roof today. I see my son's in the chat room. Ian, to answer that question, those who know, and those who don't, wish they did. Oh, we have a good show for all of you tonight, like always, I'd like to think. We have Matt from Ski Searcher on, Toledo Jess, and Dano. Rose is being active in the chat room tonight. Hopefully she'll be with us next week. So with no more further ado, let's get this party started. Bless you. And we'll be right back. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I. You know, when you sneezed, Jesse, I said bless you, and they couldn't even hear you. So
It was me. I coughed.
Oh, one of you. I thought it was Jesse because he muted. So
I was muted. You couldn't hear me, but you could see me.
What's that old wrestling dude? You can't see me.
John Cena.
Oh my goodness. Look at all these great people in here. What the heck? Go share it out. We only have 26 people in here. What the heck? And only 16 likes.
Get them thumbs up rolling. What's going on?
Thumbs up and share it.
Yeah, no doubt. Sharon's Karen. Can we get a like spike here as my friends at Sam the Adventure Man, or Adventures with Purpose, or maybe even Exploring with Nug says it now. Oh, look at that. It jumped right up. Not a member. Hey.
Be a member.
Ohio Relic Hunter, what's up?
Yeah. Let's say hi to our chat room, those that are here. Oh,
Well,
we're getting people coming in.
Aggie Hall came to hang out with us again. Hi, Aggie. How you doing, Ohio Relic Hunter?
David Villa.
Our good friend Bill. We have Heavy Meadow Detective in the house. And GoPro Unlimited. You know.
Hey,
you know.
207. Welcome. Terry Curry, how you doing?
Yes, we need spring, but winter hasn't even started yet, Bill.
Look, it's Outdoorsy Gal. She's in here.
Hello, what's up, Chrissy?
Say hi to Johnny. Marcos.
Rose is not going to be in the.
Look, there's Bennett. What's up, Bennett?
Chat with you guys to chat with you. Bedrock Bennett, what's up, buddy?
That guy's a nugget shooter extraordinaire and a billy goat.
I saw Honest in here earlier.
Yeah, Brother Ottis Ferris was in here. Terry Curry.
Oh, look, Partridge Family Prospecting. Ain't seen him in a while.
Metal Detecting 207. Not a member, eh? I think
Brooklyn,
we all love digging.
how's it going?
Brooklyn Treasure Hunter.
I saw the Yackers in here too. Don G, good to see you.
There's JP.
If my youngest is in here, still Retro Radical. Liz, Digging Canuck. Always a pleasure to see you.
What's up, Liz?
Peener. Amethyst. Dirty Mag Yackers.
Brooklyn Treasure Hunter, what's up, man?
What's up, Rage?
It's always great to see all of you. Willie, good to see you, buddy.
Mark Thomas.
Mark Thomas, yep.
Jersey Ray Diggs, what's up, girl?
Rage.
How are you tonight?
There's our buddy Rose.
Mayor Videos. What's up, Marlon? Mayor Videos. What's going on, man?
Oh, Marlon, good to see you, my Canadian brother. Yeah, that was, if Nug's in here, that F-bomb was my bad. And yes, Willie, I had a blonde moment.
It's all right.
Hey, Mark Miller, I don't blame you. I do the same thing. I say hello to everybody at once. And there's too many names to type.
Fishing Oxford County, good to see you. We have my German friend Tom in the house.
Hey, Deej. Digging with Deej is in the house. Willie's here.
And if we welcome you 2 or 3 times, hey, it's how we roll here.
Yeah, it's called CRS. We can't remember whether we said IPR or not.
Yeah, you know what we mean, CRS, right?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Cheryl, good to see you. And Mark Thomas Wilbur. Good to see you.
There's your bro.
My
James.
foster brother, James Van Cleef, is in the house. How you doing?
James.
Lisa. Everybody's starting to trot on in. The bar door's open. Hop on in. Hop a squat. Idaho Dirt Digger, good to see you. Most excellent. We've gone through them, right?
Hello, Lisa. I didn't say hi to Lisa.
No, you didn't. But I did. Indeed. 2, 3 times. She's worth it. They're all worth it.
They're all worth it. If we read your name, we don't apologize.
Not often.
No.
You say it 2 or 3 times, that means we like you that much more.
Right,
right. Or we're trying to remember it.
Thank you, Marlon.
That's CRS.
Right.
And Mar Videos, you're part of it. Yeah, you. Talking all of you. Yeah.
Idaho Digger, what's up?
All happy people. That's right, David Villa.
David Villa.
Mark Thomas, what's up, brother?
I feel a lot better, Terry. Feel a lot better. Muy bueno.
Yep. I'm pretty much over what I had too.
Yeah. Boy, that was terrible. But hey, what don't kill us makes us stronger, right?
Okay.
Eat more dirt.
I heard it in a song. Believe it was by Megadeth.
All I remember is when I was a little kid, they used to just tell me, rub dirt in it, walk it off.
Yep, that's right.
They don't do that no more. You barely touch yourself, and it's like, oh, honey, I'll call the paramedics.
Yeah.
Mm,
I can't say that on this show, but
my dad would say, "You want something to cry about? I'll give you something to cry about."
I used to get that when I was a kid too.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, the good old days. The good old days. Yeah,
We're
that's right. Shake it off, son.
right.
David Villa, eat dirt, get more iron.
At my age now, I walk with a limp. I can only move my shoulders so far.
I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Walk with a constant limp.
Yep.
It's getting there, getting there. I was sore today. My back hurt for a while.
I'll bet doing rough.
Must have slept wrong.
No, that doing roofs will mess you up, man.
How long is my hair getting? Oh, I don't know, Chrissy, about that one. Not quite long enough to cut yet. Maybe after it's winter.
You know what? We forgot to say welcome to the world's greatest moderator, Jared.
Mr. Lodak.
We did forget him.
We totally forgot him. I just
What's up,
realized.
Mr. Lodak?
You forgot him.
Uh-huh.
Lost Boys Recovery. How you doing, Andy?
What's up, man?
You know, we talked to Andy's.
Amethyst, yes, we said hi. I'll say hi again.
Oh, Amethyst Angel's always worth 2 or 3 highs. But Andy's one of his relatives, a cousin, a brother, an uncle or something, is part of Dayton Diggers. Sneal.
Oh yeah.
We talked to him at the Gold Show.
Uh-huh.
It'd be closer than 2025, Mark. Right when we get into the hot season, probably. Maybe. Yeah, Roger Sneal. Oh, we at the Gold Show we did. Not lately, Andy. Wesley, Tom, Hippie Explorer. Yeah.
Hip Bees
Here is honey candy's really good.
Oh yeah, delicious. Didn't I give you some?
Yes. Oh yeah, you did. It was good. It was good. One of these days when I'm not quite a poor white boy, I'm gonna have to buy one of his bags. Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for my white privilege card, Jesse, so I can cash in on it, and I still haven't got it.
No, you haven't made your millions yet, so at your age, you ain't done it. You ain't gonna do it.
Whatever. A lot of millionaires do it in their golden years.
Do it.
Hey, I'm already a kabillionaire.
Yeah, me too.
Just in the people I hang with and meet on the river and all of you. I'm richer than Howard Hughes. Of course, he's dead. But...
I wasn't going to burst your bubble on that, but yeah.
only rich guy I could think right offhand. You know.
There's quite a few of them. Some good, some bad, but yeah, there's quite a few.
Thank you, Amethyst. Amethyst believes in me. And I thought they were my best friends, Amethyst. Jeez.
What's up, Hit B Explorer?
Yes. Friend Rich is the best. I agree, Chrissy. We're all millionaires. That's right, David. That's right.
Okay, dead air.
No, we have you saying dead air. I was doing one of your pet peeves, Jesse. I was reading the room and not reading it out loud.
Uh-huh. No, that's not a pet peeve. That's just, one of those things.
It's always good to meet new friends. Hi, Andy. All right. Enough small talk. Let's bring in our latest victim. Sound
Yes,
good?
please.
Haha. It looks so dark and mysterious and spooky.
Yeah, it does.
What's up, guys?
How you
Welcome.
doing, Matt?
Got me a ski, man. Hey, my favorite soda right here. Ski.
Never seen it
Check it
before.
out, bro.
Now, that could lead us into our first question. How'd you come up with the name of Ski Searcher?
Oh man, because I love drinking ski soda and I love to search for stuff, man. That's my thing.
Okay.
Where do you get soda?
Huh?
Where do you get ski soda? I've never heard of it.
Dude, it's a Southern Illinois thing, man. Like, it's like the Mountain Dew around here. Nobody drinks Mountain Dew. They actually bottle it in Clinton County, Illinois, and they bottle it the old way. They still do it the old way. Like they use bottles. Let's see, I got a bottle. See this bottle right here? It's like the old Crown Top style. They still bottle soda in bottles like this, and you can get them in the big wooden crates. You can go get a whole crate and they'll fill it up for you for like $8, dude. You can get like 24 12 fluid ounce bottles. And they use pure cane. They 24, you can get them in 12 ounce bottles.
Yeah. Do you return the bottles?
Yeah. It's returnable.
That's pretty cool. Still getting them in a bottle. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah,
Pop was always good out of a bottle.
And it tastes so much better than like can or plastic bottles.
So it's kind of like a Southern Illinois microbrewery for soda.
Rose says she loves some of it. She says she likes it too.
Oh, Rose knows what's up with the ski, huh? What's up, Rose?
So is that the only flavor they have? Do they have a cola or?
No, actually, it's called XL Bottling Company, and they actually have beers. They have something called Brew Ski. It's a beer they come out with. They have a bunch of different flavors. They got cherry ski, tropical ski, orange ski. I like the original ski the best. This stuff right here. And they make it with pure cane sugar too. It's good stuff.
Cool.
I actually got sober like 8 years ago, so I needed something to take the place of like alcohol. So soda was it, man. I used to drink a lot of energy drinks and stuff, but like I had to lay off those, so I became addicted to soda and detecting and finding old stuff. So.
Yeah, you were detecting today too. While I was on a roof, you were out detecting. What a beep.
Oh no, it was a nice day, man. It got really windy and it just got cloudy over here and windy, and found like one flat button today. But hey, that one button made my whole day. Like, I mean, I found a bunch of random like odds and ends and stuff, and I was in an old ghost town, but I think the place was hammered pretty good. But I'm still
where
fine.
do you search more most of the time?
I love ghost towns. Like that's my thing whenever they harvest the farm fields. Because there's such a chance for random old stuff like drop, like because they would have a mill out there, taverns, a post office. I get really strategic on where I pick to dig at. I used to find a box on the old aerial photo and just go out and just like, oh, I'm gonna go detect this old home site. And I do that sometimes, but I have found out that if I get like a ghost town to detect that, there's more stuff and, more people. And at a home site, you just have that family that was there, but at a ghost town, you get permission to all of the farm field that this ghost town sat in. There's like nectar everywhere, man. Like,
so how do you find a ghost town?
Man, I actually have an 1876 map of my county, and it literally shows where these old towns were at. And that's the thing with Southern Illinois. The Goshen Trail, it actually comes through Southern Illinois and it heads to St. Louis, and it started in Shawneetown, Illinois. And that trail goes right through Jefferson County. and right through my area, man. So I'll go look on the map. I'll look for an old ghost town. If it's not got a bunch of houses all on top of it, if it's in just farm field or woods, I'm getting permission for that, man, and I'm going out there and seeing what I can find.
So you're actually going out looking for ghost towns, or where towns used to be anyways.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't necessarily mean it's a ghost town, it's just where there was one, right?
That's the thing, like, and especially people who don't know about like treasure hunting and metal detecting at all. They hear ghost town. Well, what do you think when you hear ghost town? You think tumbleweeds and these buildings still standing and all that. It's like, no, it's not like that at all. Sometimes maybe in like I don't know, Carson City or wherever, them old mining towns and stuff, maybe somehow they still got some buildings still standing and stuff, but like around here, like it ain't nothing left but farm field. And like I'll get people driving by, and like there's a lot of Amish out where I dig at, and they'll come rolling by on their horse and buggies, man, and they'll wave every time, and I know they're wondering like, what the heck is he out there doing, you know? And then people just driving by and like they slow down and watch, and it's like, you know, I always wonder what they think, but you know.
So to use
some people know that it's an old ghost town, but most people don't know what the heck I'm doing out there in the middle of nowhere, you know.
so you use historical aerials too?
Yeah, that's my favorite site, man. When I first got into detecting, my buddy, I started detecting with him. He's been detecting 20 years. He don't have a channel. He just detects, and he's in my metal detecting club. He's the vice president of my metal detecting club. I'm in Tri-State Metal Detecting Club out of Mount Vernon, Illinois. And he was kind of like my mentor. I had someone to guide me, tell me about what a detector does, tell me what to dig, what not to dig, and to dig everything in the old areas. Like if I'm out in old ghost town and I know there's not hardly any modern trash, I'm really not that picky about what I'm gonna be digging. Like I'll dig like everything, because you never know what's gonna pop out of the ground. And usually the only modern trash I will dig out in these areas are like pieces of a beer can someone checked out the window while they're booze crazy, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't find any modern trash at all, and that's what I love. But like whenever the farm fields are planted, you know, then I love to do like sidewalk tear outs, street tear outs, and I love to go for the big Victorian homes that are still standing, and I like doing those. Even if they're hunted out, I like to find out one freaking thing that person freaking dropped and that the other guys didn't find, you know. Speaking of that, what was it, last year, I found my first large scent. And in Illinois, you know, we're kind of far out west, you know, I'm an hour from St. Louis, gateway to the west, and you don't find largies around here like you do on the East Coast. I mean, if you find a large scent around here in my metal detecting club, like it's a big deal. So I found my first large scent, it was an 1853 braided hair in the front yard of this old Victorian home, and it was built in like 1890. It was the only decent thing I found in the whole freaking front yard, besides some weeds, man. And it just made my day. And that's another thing, since we don't dig all that old colonial stuff in like they do out east, you know, over here, when we find like a flat button around here, it's a big freaking deal. If we find a large scent, it's a big deal, you know.
They're not as common as they are east.
Yeah, so if you see me in my videos, I'm getting super excited over a freaking one flat button, you know what I'm saying? Or like, yeah, that's something for us, you know. And like Civil War buttons too. There was no battles in Illinois. The only thing they had in Illinois was camps and stuff. So there was one fort down in Cairo, Illinois, and I'm pretty far away from that. So how I find my Civil War stuff is these ghost towns most of the time, or I'll look out at the old home site, we'll find a button usually. I still never found a Civil War bullet or a buckle, but that's two things I'd love to find. I haven't made my way out east yet or down south to detect like a battlefield private property or nothing like that. But that is like one of my big things that I want to do, because it's just not around here.
Rose wants to know if you ever search the Little Egypt area. I don't know.
Is that like by Lake of Egypt, or where is that, Rose? I've heard of, I mean, they pretty much call like Southern Illinois, like Little Egypt, so that could be anywhere. I don't know where she's talking about, but
I don't know. I'm just delivering the message.
hey, what county do you live in, Rose? Wonder if she can hear me.
Oh, she's watching. I'm sure she can hear.
I don't see her in the chat room. Chat
No,
like
She
this.
was.
But
So she's
Yeah,
getting out.
My chat's not moving either. Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Jesse's
But
having
yeah, I-
technical problems.
I
I'm
go
Go ahead.
I go search like all around. Like I don't just like stay in my county. I'll go and travel, you know. At this point, I don't travel like super far yet, but I want to start doing some collabs with some people. Got tons of people that want to dig with me. Not enough time, you know. I got a full-time job. So if you're a digger out there that's been trying to get at me to dig, I'm sorry. I'm busy, and when I get days to dig, it's just usually random. So not scheduled.
Says yes. Rose says yes. Lake of Egypt, and she's in St. Clair County.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I haven't been down that way to detect, but there's some good areas down there for sure. The Shawnee National Forest is a huge forest down there. That's Southern Illinois right there. The Shawnee National Forest is huge, man. There's a lot of areas down in there, the old salt mines. But the Goshen
Coal mines.
The Goshen Trail is a big deal. What I was talking about earlier, it is the main pioneer trail that came through our area. And you have the Kaskaskia Vincent's Trail that came from Vincent's, Indiana, from the Wabash River. And then it actually meets with the Goshen Trail in my county and George Rogers Clark actually marched his troops down the trail and where the spot where the Goshen and the Kaskaskia Vincent's Trail met. So there is, you know, pioneer activity in my county. So that's awesome, man. I try to hone in on that trail. And it's not a trail where you can just, oh, look, there's the Goshen Trail, you know. You really have to do research, and you got to do your homework, or you are not going to get on these spots. I'm telling you. I actually think I spend too much time researching, but that's how I find it.
I was just gonna ask you.
So it's nothing like the Oregon Trail where they have ruts carved into the ground.
There is spots, Ed, but you just got to know somebody, you know what I'm saying, to find those. I've actually got ghost towns I detect that the trail goes right through, and the Historical Society has actually marked the trail throughout the county, but they don't know exactly where it goes through. They mark where they know, okay, it went through here somewhere. But like these ghost towns pop up because of the people coming in off the trail. You find that old Pioneer Cemetery and the old bridge crossing and that old road that looks like it's literally a pioneer road. It's small, you know, narrow, and it winds and turns. And it will lead you right to that good stuff every time. Cemeteries are a big key factor. If you can find an old pioneer cemetery and you look at the graves too, look at the graves. If you got Civil War soldiers buried out there and people that died by 1830, in that area, there's going to be activity because, stuff dropped. There's going to be a town or something close.
Yeah, usually
they were literally coming in off that trail, and how them pioneer cemeteries started, someone would die and then they would bury one along the way, and they go further, 10 miles down the road, someone else would die down there, they'd start another cemetery, and then they name the cemetery, so
yeah, because I've seen cemeteries along roads. There's nothing out there but that cemetery and cornfields,
yeah.
And there's not even a little town. I think the closest town is miles away.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Yep.
I was wondering
farm fields and old cemeteries. That's my type of thing.
So how about have you thought about looking at using LiDAR mapping now that's available online.
Man,
Yes.
I've heard guys starting to do that. That's high tech stuff. I haven't gotten into that yet. Right now, I just do the historic aerials, and that's good enough for me. I'm finding stuff. So, but I do want to look into stuff like that. I don't know much about it though.
Yeah, check out Matt, or was it prospecting geologist? Or,
Prospecting geologist, yes.
yes, he provides a service to help you get LiDAR for your area. I don't know what he charges, if he charges or anything like that, but yeah, that's because that using LiDAR could maybe even help define, like, let's say you use your aerial photography, right? Go back those cents and you locate where that trail is on that map, and then use modern LiDAR over that area, and maybe be able to find some of them ruts or them areas. Literally find it for you.
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome. I've heard people doing that, and you're totally correct on that. You could probably find out where exactly went through.
Right.
Tell you what, I'll put his website in the live chat, and later on you could find it. We're only 45 minutes or so into the show, so if you hop to that point, you could find his website link in the chat room, and you could check out his website, Matt, if you're interested in LiDAR.
Cool.
Because I mean, they've been, LiDAR's not brand new, but it's being used a whole lot more now. I mean, they're finding so much in Egypt and in South America, and they're just finding stuff that's been hidden all this time. Instead of just one temple, they're finding a whole city.
Right.
By LiDAR. Buried.
Oh yeah, I've seen programs about that. That's freaking awesome.
So now, so I guess they're doing that across the country. Not everywhere, but I guess where the money is, right?
Right.
So the country's being mapped with LiDAR, so that ought to be cool. That would be some fun mapping to look at. He knows how to get it, and like I said, he'll either he shows you or he provides a service. I'm not quite sure, but Matt's a good guy. His name is Matt also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy. We prospected with him.
Yeah. You use historic aerials too?
Does he?
Do you?
Do I?
Jesse does. I do.
Yeah. I check around the area because the way I found out about it, somebody told me about it, and I was looking, and I was going to this one place. It's an island on the river, up the river a ways. It had a couple of buildings on it. Well, actually, I was out there one time and I found a sinkhole or a cellar hole and a well off the path, right? Because I know about, when you're walking around the woods, especially when there's during the fall and stuff, you can see those depressions, those cellar holes, the runoffs, things are more noticeable. So I found that, and then somebody told me about the aerial photography, and I checked into it. And I found out that there was actually 2 buildings back there in the like early 1920s, right? So I already found the one. So knowing about the other one, I went and I found the other one. So with that mapping, I was able to find those 2 cellar holes, and a little cemetery in there. It was just a small little island. So that was cool. But I've never metal detected the spot. I've been wanting to go in metal detecting someday. There's a lot of junk in the cellar hole. Somebody's filled it up with trash, you know.
Right.
So, and I found the well. I think it's a well. It could have been a. No, it's got to be a well because it's still
Drop your
open.
magnet in there.
You know, that's a good idea. What, the well?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it could
Yep.
pull up a gun or something.
How you find the good stuff.
Never
You never
know.
know,
It's like digging privies.
right? I didn't locate the privy, although I didn't really look all that hard for it, or actually knew how to find it. I had an idea, but you know, so that's areas. I don't know how much it gets detected. I'm sure it gets detected somewhat. You know, I don't know. It's about a 30-minute drive for me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I try to find the sites that nobody's hit. But sometimes, you know, it's just been hit. But you know what? You know, they say it's never dug out, and you can always find something. But I mean, it's always cool when you find that spot that's just a virgin site and just like butter. Every signal's like bing, bing, bing. It's awesome, man.
yeah, I don't know that this site's ever been dug. I know that people walk the area. They got a trail running around the island, and you know, it's just it's like a walking trail, right? So whether anyone's ever really dug out there, I don't know. Doesn't really look like it, but you know, I don't know.
What happens a lot of times when a site's like already dug out, they dig out a lot of the, you know, garbage targets for you, and then you'll have a bunch
Yeah.
of chairs left. I'm telling you, that
There's
happens a
still
lot.
and bed springs and you know,
Yeah.
big pieces of metal down there. You can see them, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't want to dig through all that.
Right.
Listen, well, big
Like
on the outside.
we've been pounding this one ghost town. Okay, we've been out there like 2-3 times, and it's my buddy's permission. But I get out there, and me and him went. He's like, "You want to go?" I was like, "All right, yeah, let's go." And I hop out there, and I was swinging right where everybody else had been swinging the other day, and the day before that, and the day before that. And the very first freaking hole I popped a bucket lister is a freaking 1839 half dime. And he was like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Come here, dude." And it's gonna be my next video, but I'll just tell everybody I will. But yeah, first freaking hole, dude. I was blown away. He had just found the 1838 half dime about 30 yards from that, and a Civil War button too. So
Nice.
that's pretty old for our area, man. The 1830s, you do not see 1830s coins pop up around here very often. They are here, and the old stuff is here. You just really have to look for it because it's not everywhere. But that makes it more of a challenge and more exciting, you know, for us because we don't find stuff like that all the time. Out east, it's a dime a dozen out there. Oh, half time. Oh, yeah. We dig rails out here, but I'm telling you, so
That's where everybody was at that time. There wasn't as many people out in Illinois, Ohio. They were moving out slowly, but it wasn't congested like it is there. So
Right.
yeah. So and what a small town is 2-3 miles away, which is like an all-day trip, you know, back then. So yeah,
Right.
they would be scattered, and they
That's
would
why. Yeah, that's why I hone in on these old ghost towns and this Goshen Trail that rolls through there, and it heads to St. Louis, Edwardsville area. Edwardsville is actually in Alton. It's right on the Mississippi River. You got St. Louis on the other side of the river, and that was, man, that's where everybody was going back then. They all headed there from this trail, man, and I'm right on that trail digging up the pass, you know, and it's a lot of people don't even know about the Goshen Trail, you know, and so.
Does that trail run north and south through Illinois?
East and west, but it goes like northwest, starts turning northwest at the north of my county, and then it starts heading kind of westerly northwest towards Edwardsville.
So the town of Goshen, does that trail go through there? That's up north part of Illinois, right? Goshen.
I've never heard of it.
No.
Yeah.
There's a Goshen, Indiana, I think.
Oh, is it really? I know there's a lot of things in Goshen. I'm not sure. I've never heard of that.
I was just wondering if that's on the trail.
There's a Goshen, Egypt.
Maybe we can look it up. But yeah, I got permission to one ghost town. And this is when I first started videoing, and I was first starting to find good stuff, metal detecting, and I got a permission, and it's actually through a family member by marriage. And so I got this permission. These people own tons of farmland. Okay. There was over 12 home sites in one permission when they said yes. So I had 12 home sites to just go detect, and they're all super close together, dude. So I could walk from one to the other, like literally. And it's part of a ghost town, old ghost town called Drivers. And it started in like the 1850s. But I found my first Morgan dollar out there at one of the home sites. In the same night, I found an 1858 Trime with a hole in it. I found a lot of cool stuff out there. And that's my son. He's beating on the door.
Oh, no, I was actually wrong. It's Goshen's in Indiana. It's in northern Indiana, outside of South Bend.
Oh, awesome.
But I still wonder if that's part of the trail, if that's on the trail.
It's possible. Highly possible. But yeah, I found this Morgan dollar. It's 1882 mint. I can't see it that good.
No.
But it's 1882 Morgan. I found that out there. One really cool thing I found out there, it's a pin, and this pin, I can't see it that great, but this pin is a Civil War soldier gar pin, and it would have had a medallion, a bronze medallion hanging off the bottom of it. Could not find that part. This part's awesome. It says Illinois State Fair 1906. And what they did, these badges were like everything. Whenever a soldier, a vet from the Civil War went to these fairs, they'd hand out these badges, dude. And it got you access to the whole fair and your family if you was a vet. And they wore these badges. So that was pretty cool to find, even though I didn't find the whole thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like I find in my fairgrounds is rolled up foil.
Yeah, so the medallion part has a Civil War soldier or general on there, and it has some words and stuff on the back. I'd love to find that. It's out there somewhere, but I don't know if the site had been dug before. The other guy might have found it. I don't know. There's one guy that had access to that land too, but he didn't know where every home site was. So that's just part of it, man. I found awesome stuff off that one permission, man. All them home sites. Pretty much had a ghost town to myself. So,
Matt Gibbs Treasure says, asked if I would tell you that, or he said family life, kids in the background and stuff, family life.
Oh yeah, is that what you said?
More power to you.
They're being loud. I told them to be quiet. They're being loud.
It's okay. They're kids.
Yeah, my toddler, he's almost 3, and he come beating on the door. He can hear Dada back here talk.
Right.
Honey, watch the kids.
All right. Gibby's Treasure rode along. He says Lincoln rode along the Fisher Trail on the way to Shawneetown, Illinois. Well,
yeah, there's Lincoln's a big. He's got a lot of areas around here that he was at. He actually spoke a lot in my town, and they say Mount Vernon is the town I'm in, and they said that he visited Mount Vernon out of any other town. I read once. I don't know if that's how true that is, but he did used to stay at a guy's house here when he had trials, and we have an appellate courthouse here that was built in like 1850, and he had a trial here once, and that was a big thing. And he also had a bunch of campaign speeches here, and my buddy literally found a Abraham Lincoln campaign token.
Ooh, cool.
Before he became president, when he was campaigning, he found one of those, so that was super cool. I'd love to find one. I know the areas where he spoke too, so he actually found that like at an old home site just out in the middle of nowhere. So that's a pretty cool find.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you
people-
like to find an Abraham Lincoln freaking campaign token, man? It would have had his picture on one side and then the other guy he was running with or the vice on the other side, and it says Abraham Lincoln on it and then the date. So
David Villa says, yeah, who cares about Lincoln? Was Elvis ever there?
Elvis, no, but the Beatles did roll through once.
Oh wow, hey.
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Don't forget to smash that like button, friends. You tell him one more pan, brother. Okay, since you like just
So Ohio Relic Hunter wants to know if you consider looking for campsites along the trail. Rule of thumb, it's about every 20 miles they have a camp.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure. I got a book, man, that actually tells you how to find Civil War campsites. And one of the things it says, you got to have the old road or trail, the old original Pioneer Cemetery, and a major creek crossing that is time period to the Civil War. And those three things right there, man, they say you're in the chips, Yeah, thanks for that tip, Ohio.
So how far up did these camps exist? So we're talking about the southern the rebels, right? Or both.
well, Illinois was a Union state, wasn't it?
Well, I'll tell you about that a little bit. My county, it is rare to find something Confederate. However, people think, oh, Illinois, oh, there ain't nothing Confederate up there. Well, that's when coming and doing your local history research comes into play. Lincoln, and this is documented at our historical society, actually had spies on a bunch of copperheads in my county, and they were conspiring to have an uprising. There was an ex-sheriff in my county that had raised up a regiment of 50 cavalry soldiers, a cavalry regiment named John Bagwell. And how crazy is that? He was an ex-sheriff and raises up a bunch of cavalry unit,
Was he part of the Knights of the Golden Circle, do you know?
You know what? They say every single member and person who joined that, they were all tied in with that, dude. I'm telling you. Local history, man, that's where it's at. I love local history the best. And there's obviously Union regiments out of this county, many of them too. And there was other Confederate regiments raised up too in other counties around my county. In Centralia, Illinois, a kid from our club, Tucker, you see in my videos a lot. If you guys watch my videos, Tucker, he found a CSA belt buckle, and I'll just say he found it by some railroad tracks. Okay, soldiers used to get on and off the railroad tracks there. I don't know, and it is probably something where a soldier brought it home as a keepsake and dropped it or something, or maybe it was a Confederate soldier in the area boarding a train or something. You just never know, But around here, most of the time, if you find a Confederate button or a buckle, it was probably a keepsake of someone who lived at a homestead or in a ghost town. And they had it, and it was just left, and it got tore down at the house.
Brought it home from the war. Brought it home from the war with them, souvenir from their travels,
Yeah.
Rifles, bayonets, stuff like that. Maybe even, like you said, articles of clothing.
Yeah, there was skirmishes like around here, undocumented, a lot of them, but there was no major battles. But it was about to pop off in my county, from what I read. I mean, if Lincoln had spies, and these guys were like big political figures in my county that were conspiring, and they had like a lot of power and doctors and stuff like that. I've read all of that. It's pretty interesting.
So So you were just getting ready to say you love history, right?
Yeah, I love.
How about when you were in school?
In school, I actually loved it, man. I hated math.
Uh-huh.
I suck at math. I'm not gonna lie. I suck at math. I hated that. It was boring to me. But I did best in social studies and history class because my dad, man, raised me on arrowheads and Indians and watching Westerns. And then my mom loves history too. So it just come natural. Once I stopped partying, man, when I was like 28, I started to really get back into some of my hobbies when I was younger. And so, yeah, I collect arrowheads. I like to search for old bottles, mainly in creeks. I want to do a privy dig. I never did a privy dig. That's one thing I want to do. But I'll show you this bottle while I'm talking about bottles. I found this bottle in a creek that was part of an old fairgrounds. This fairground started in like the 1860s, and it ran from about 1860s to about 1906. And this bottle, dude, I found this bottle in the creek. It is a huge whiskey bottle. And this sucker is probably like late 1870s, 1880s. And it says the RK Grocery Co. Whiskeys, Brandies, and Wines, 405, 407 Broad Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, I found that in Southern Illinois, man, in a creek that used to be an old fairgrounds. And this bottle made it on the front cover of American Digger magazine last year.
Nice.
So I'm very proud of this bottle, man. I've never found one that awesome and complete in a creek.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. It's a freaking whiskey bottle, dude, from Nashville, Tennessee. It's freaking old, man. Awesome. Also, in that creek, I found this giant freaking wine bottle, dude. It's huge. It says proprietors, Finsbury Distillery on it. It's huge. It's got the old applied lip on there. I mean,
that's hand
look how
blown.
big this thing is. And
Yeah.
I found two of them.
Look
out
at
of that
all
same.
I know you see all the.
Am I seeing a bunch of bubbles in it?
Yeah,
wait.
man. It's got bubbles in it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's got bubbles. Yeah.
That's cool.
And these bottles were actually imported from England, I found out. So they apply date like 1890s or so. But it was crazy to find two huge wine bottles that big, not cracked or anything, dude. But you can find them in the creeks.
You find all three of them together? I mean, same time? Same one?
Not at the same time. I found those separate occasions. Yeah. All those bottles were found at separate times. Yeah. Once that creek, once it floods real good, I'll go back and I'll find another bottle or two or three or sometimes four bottles, you know. But if I find one good one, I'm happy, man. That whiskey bottle, dude. Oh, let me tell you about the whiskey bottle. Okay. So that address on the bottle, I look up this address, right? And come to find out, Nashville, Tennessee, where that bottle was bottled at, 405, 407 Broad Street, is on the main historic downtown strip in Nashville. One of the buildings has been torn down, but one still stands and is called Nudie's Honky Tonk Bar. If you've ever been there in Nashville, Tennessee, that's the building, one of the buildings that this bottle was bottled at. Could have been bottled. It's either bottled at that building or the one they tore down next to it. So how cool is that?
That is cool.
So now I got a question.
You ever been to Nashville?
Oh yeah.
I was there one long time ago. Anyways, you were saying that next time that creek floods or river, the creek or river,
yeah.
Next time it floods, you're gonna go down again, right? Because you got a feeling it's coming from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You don't think they're popping up out of the banks, maybe somewhere.
Old dump.
That'd be interesting to find because it's probably a bottle dump.
They definitely are, and I got a buddy that's really super big into digging dumps like that. And he told me, he's like, it's right there somewhere. Just look for it. I just never had the time to look for it, but I'm definitely going to do that in the video sometime. Try to find it. Also, I've never detected that creek, and this was, you got to think fairgrounds. You want to find a lot of quantity of stuff. bottles. If there's a creek that rolls through the fairgrounds, that's rare. And then coins, man, and other stuff, drop jewelry. The fairs are where it's at. I know a guy up north, Marty Burstle's Digging with Marty. He's got a YouTube channel, and he has a fairground site. Man, he's dug 20 seated dimes out of there. You know, that's crazy.
I gotta go hit mine. Before
And all you get is rolled up hot dog wrappers.
I have a fairgrounds that I can go to that hasn't really been hunted that much. In fact, they've just opened it up in the last couple of years to allow people, but they're not advertising it, right?
Yeah.
But every time I go, I've gone a few times. Every time I go there, I find these wads of aluminum foil. Now, having grown up here and have gone to that fair every year forever, I know what those are. That hamburgers and hot dogs used to come rolled up in or wrapped in that, right?
Right.
It was like a little bag, you know, it was foil, but they're everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, they're about about that big, right? But they're everywhere. And it's a good signal because it's aluminum. Ooh, it's not iron. But, you know.
Speaking of fairs, there was a huge fair in St. Louis in 1904. It's called the St. Louis World's Fair.
Yep.
And we find stuff from the fair over here sometimes. And it must have been the thing to do back then, because I found a bunch of stuff from the fair. One of the things was this little, it's part of a watch fob. It has, I know you probably can't see it very good, but it has Napoleon on one side and Thomas Jefferson on the other. And it says St. Louis World's Fair 1904. And it was part of a watch fob. That was pretty cool to find. Anything from that fair is awesome.
Yeah,
look up that fair sometime. 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. It was huge. It wasn't just like a weekend event. It went for like months. Geronimo, the Indian Geronimo, was even at that fair. So that tells you they had a bunch of like celebrities of that time period, you know. And I mean, freaking Geronimo. Can you imagine him meeting Geronimo?
And Wild Bill Hickok do his Wild West show there too.
Yeah, he sure did.
He was probably there. That's when all those
Buffalo, or I mean, probably Sitting Bull was with the Wild West show, so he could have been there at that time too.
Yeah, they have these other tokens, and it has an Indian head penny in the side of it, and it is a 1904 Indian head penny that they gave out at the fair, and it says "Keep me for good luck." And I found 2 of those, but the Indian head penny's always missing, man. It was missing on both of them, but I want to find one that's complete. It's got the penny in it someday.
I think I have one of those from a fair in Chicago.
there was a Chicago's World Fair.
Yep. 1892, I think. 1892? 1893?
I'm
not sure. I'd have to look. I have so many coins and tokens.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I hated about history, was trying to remember dates.
I think it was 1893. Yeah.
Well, good night, Chrissy. Have a good one.
Good night, Chrissy. Johnny.
And BC Trail says he found an old Chinese Tiger whiskey jug once, and it's now in the museum in Salmon Arm, British Columbia. Where'd it go? Oh, thought it was a vase and left it behind because could not carry it out of the bush.
Cool.
Wow.
What's up, BC?
Hey, Wolfie.
I always talk to him on there. BC.
Dennis Hendricks is in the house now.
We have BC Trails and BC
Carl, what's
Treasures
up?
Trails. Hi, girls.
Tell the girls I said hi. Let's see. Anybody else we missed? Just come in. This
Oh,
last
Matt from Gone Digging's been here. I don't know if he's still here. Um, a few in and out, making their rounds.
one more pan. What's up?
So, what's been your scariest situation while out hunting? Have
Oh
you
man,
come across any paranormal activities or?
paranormal activities, no, but yellow jackets, yes.
Wait,
Dude,
paranormal doesn't always
dude,
mean
yeah, some paranormal yellow jackets. Just like about 2 months ago, dude, I was detecting and I was by myself at an old home site in the woods. It was kind of cleared out. But anyways, I stuck my shovel in the ground. I had my headphones on, and in the zone, just trying to dig that treasure. And dude, before you know it, I was swarmed with yellow jackets. They were freaking everywhere. I dropped my gear. I ran.
yeah.
And these suckers, just like the movies, dude, you know how they run and jump for water? Or there wasn't no water around, but I ran, dude. And they chased me 100 yards, I bet. And they would not stop stinging me. And I was pulling them off me. I started to freak out a little bit because I didn't know if I was allergic. I've never been stung by a yellow jacket. And I read that if you get stung by one and you're allergic, you could die. So I think
the true thing about yellow jackets, they'll be biting you while they're stinging you.
yeah, they bite you to hold on to get a good grip, and then they sting the piss out of you.
Right.
But yeah, dude, that was the scariest time for sure.
Oh, my son Ian, Retro Radical, he could tell you about a story. We were in Olympia, Washington, doing a geocache, and he stepped on a yellow jacket hive or nest.
Ooh. Oh,
He got all stung up, and the poor kid, only thing I could think of at that moment was to chew on a cigarette and put tobacco on him.
Oh, dude, and now it seems like they follow me everywhere. Like I was at one of my club meetings for my detecting club, and the president's like, I had a ski and I was drinking it, glass bottle. He's outdoors, and he's like, "Are you gonna drink that with a yellow jacket in there?" I was like, "What?" And I looked at my bottle. There's a freaking yellow jacket in my ski. I almost drank it.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah,
you can start, dude.
That would have not been cool.
No, not at all.
Yellow jacket.
Yep, I had a cousin that when we were about 12, 13 years old out in the woods, I heard him go, "Oh, look, a football." Next thing I know, he's running, and he's got a swarm of yellow jackets running after him. They're chasing us all.
That wasn't a football you kicked, son.
No, it wasn't. He got stung head to toe, man.
Dude,
His eyes were running. Oh, man.
Run as hard as you want, you ain't getting away.
They are mean, man. They say yellow jackets. They say yellow jackets
got me, but they mostly run after him. They were on him. Dude.
They say they'll just sting you for no reason.
Oh yeah. David Villa had a question. David Villa had a question earlier. What do you swing?
I swing a Garrett AT Max, and I just started learning the MindLab Equinox 800. Yeah. But my go-to detector right now, I use the AT Max, and it works well for me. I find stuff with it. I usually run it in 0 mode, no discrimination. If I'm at a house still standing, I'll usually turn off the iron audio. But for the most part, like if I'm out in my ghost town doing my thing, I run it wide open. I don't discriminate nothing. I want to hear all the iron.
Dig it all.
I love listening to the iron because I've gotten good at hearing the sound with the good sounds mixed in with the iron. So a lot of people don't like hearing that iron, but I do. I don't use no threshold. I just run it wide open.
And you pretty much dig everything when you're ghost town hunting, right? What do you like finding better, relics or coins?
Oh man, I love coins, but those relics that tell a story, man, like a Civil War button, it gets my mind going of like, man, what was that soldier doing? You know, was he already done with the war when he dropped this? Was he active, just, you know, coming to visit, or what, you know, what's going on? Like I found this watch fob. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It
Cool.
has an eagle on it. And it says MFG Cement Co. on there, and it has the state seal of Illinois on it with the eagle. It's really awesome. Don't know if you can see that very good, but yeah, man.
Well, with that excellent lighting you have there in your studio, brother.
Yeah, right.
Was that a sarcastic remark?
A little.
Yeah. But yeah, anything that I can get a date on, or I can get words on that I can look up, that's when my mind starts spinning. I really start to enjoy the hobby, dude. If I can get into the history part of the relic I found, that's awesome. But there ain't nothing better than seeing a good coin come out of the ground that's old, you know, old silver, like that half dime I found. My buddy was like, man, I probably would have dug that signal because, you know, that probably would have sounded like trash. But a lot of my good stuff I've been finding lately has been horrible sounding. I mean, not the best signals. It's mixed in with nails, and a bunch of trash, man. So dig it all. Them iffy signals sometimes are the best ones.
Now, with coin type things, I'm sure you've come across tokens. I like tokens because I feel they have more historical significance
Oh yeah.
over a coin. Do you prefer finding tokens over coins?
If the token is not super like corroded and you actually can read the whole thing, it's in good shape. Yeah. I don't like finding the tokens that are like aluminum and they're all crusty, because a lot of times you get an aluminum token, aluminum does not do well in the ground.
Right.
Like those old tokens and stuff don't. But like
No.
a can, if you find a beer can, man, that Bush logo is still popping on there. But if you dig like an old aluminum token, it drives me nuts. It's all like corroded, and I don't know if it's different styles of aluminum or what's going on there. But yeah, but if I can find a token that's got like a date or like the company on it, that's awesome. I'd rather find a token.
So all your finds, I mean, you're able to identify everything you find, right?
No. That's another fun part. I mean, I got a lot
Right.
of mystery
So-
finds.
Right. So do you have a lot of those, or?
I got too many, dude. I got a truck bed full of mystery finds. I chuck it back there, and one day I'll get to it. You don't want to see the bed of my truck, man. Or maybe you want to. You might be able to identify something. I don't know what it is.
That's what I was just gonna ask you. Do you ever take that thing and say, hey guys, help me out with this?
I do. I used to actually do a video that says, I don't know. The title would be I don't know. And it was a series I was trying to do when I first started making YouTube videos. They didn't do very well, but I might try to bring it back now that I got more followers. But
Like,
what
what
it
the
was,
hell's this?
yeah, I would introduce an items that I found that I had no clue what it was, and I'd ask people if they knew what it was. So, oh yeah, speaking of that, this
Yeah,
is,
because Rose, when she remembers, she usually brings something to us on
you see
our
this thing right, this
open line night.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry, this thing right here. This is a mystery item I had on that, and it's,
Ooh, I wish you had better lighting.
yeah, it's either a top to a cane or it's the pummel
To a
of
sword.
a pistol. It's very ornate. It's got a red ruby in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You see it better there?
Yeah.
Oh, gotta look at it that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is any of it
It's made
broke
of
off?
lead, or it's made of either lead, like mixed with pewter or something, but it's freaking old. It's got that I can't. There you go.
So are any pieces that are bent on there, bent out of, that don't look like they're bent right? or broken and the end's broken on that piece?
On that piece?
Yeah.
No, it looks like it don't have a screw. It don't have a screw. It don't have threads. But it looked like it just popped right in the bottom of a flintlock pistol or the top of a cane. Probably a cane top, a fancy one. It's real ornate. It's got ornate design on it. And it's got that red ruby in the middle. But that was pretty cool, man. It was found in a very old part of this town, on the main strip of this town. I find a lot of stuff in curb strips too. A lot of people don't like doing them, man, but that's my thing. When the farm fields are planted, curb strips, you can't go wrong. A lot of people are afraid of people and they don't like getting yelled at, and people come outside like, what are you doing? Well, where I'm at, you can do curb strips. It's legal. And so a lot of times when I have people come
Don't
out
do
of
it in front of Jesse's house. He'll bitch at you.
right? The Karens will come out and get you.
That's right.
No, I'm an expert at handling Karens. Like I will talk them up and butter them up. And the key is kindness, kill them with kindness. And a lot of times I'll have people that even if they come off mean at first, they will give me permission to their yard. I don't even have to ask. They're like, you can do my yard if you want. You just gotta be nice, man. Be respectful and nice. Start talking about history. Don't say, I'm out here finding jewelry and gold coins and silver. No, just say, I'm out here trying to, and it's really what I'm out there doing. I'm trying to save the history that's been lost in the ground. And I explain that to them and make them believe that, you know, you're there to find stuff that's old and historic, you know, and trying to save it. Don't make it sound like you're going trying to find.
We have a complaint in the chat room. I guess that'd be me, Karen.
I want to speak to the manager.
Karen's here.
Please email complaints to flashinyourpan@gmail.com.
All right, I'll tell you a scenario, and this wasn't a curb strip. This was actually, we was on a permission, and it was an old Civil War mansion. And this lady comes up out of nowhere behind me while I'm digging. The landowner wasn't home, but he didn't care if we dug his house when he wasn't home. He don't care. You know, she comes up and says, what are you doing digging in his yard? I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm Matt, you know, and I explained to her what we're doing and stuff. She's like, does he know that you're digging in his yard? You know, I'm like, yeah. You know, I'm like, he knows that we're here. We've been here before. And she's like, okay. But the way she came at me was so mean. It's like, this lady, it's not even her house. You know, she's just a neighbor. And she come over and hassled me. And but I was respectful and nice and polite. And she said, okay. And I was like, have a nice day, you know, and she went about her way. But if I would have, entertained that, and it would have been ugly. Some people love to entertain it, you know, and they'll video it and get views, but I'm not like that, man. I'm cool with people.
That's hey.
Well, it's the best way to be.
Yeah, because that could have completely ruined my permission. It was a Civil War era mansion. Do you think I'm gonna come off, you know, like
right
mean to that lady? Because she could have went right back and talked to that landowner, and we could have got kicked out of that site for good, you know.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Better a situation like that, especially if you don't want to lose that permission, you know, either diffuse it or walk away, you know, and let the owner know, hey, your neighbor over here asking me about being in your yard. Maybe you need to let her know that I do have permission.
Right.
Tell that nasty old no.
Yeah, and the other two guys that were with me were digging all the treasure while I was sitting there dealing with the Karen.
Again, for any complaints, the management will read and reply to your emails. flashinyourpan@gmail.com.
Well, definitely circle file it.
Our own world's greatest moderator, Mr. Lodak. Have you ever tried to use like a pencil rub? You know, when you rub a coin, you put it under paper and rub it with a pencil to see the detail or on tokens to see if you can get more detail, and something about or electrolysis.
I have never did that before. I've never did either one actually, but that thing with the paper, that's interesting. I've never thought to do that, but thanks for that tip because I'll definitely have to try that
It
sometime.
comes in handy. I do that, Mr. Lodak. My dad was a historian. I was like you in school when I went to school. I didn't like math, I didn't like English, I didn't like school, but I did love like drafting, shop classes, and history. And my dad was a huge coin collector, well known on the West Coast in the tokens area, and he would do that a lot. He would sketch over tokens with a pencil, and it will darken up the the detail on it. And a lot of times when you couldn't see it, you do it with a pencil under paper, and it brings out the detail. So
Wow, that reminds me, people do that with gravestones a lot of times. You ever seen people do that on a old gravestone?
I've done that.
Yeah.
You find those old gravestones from the 1800s. Usually they're white because they're so old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. Actually, that was a field trip in school once.
Hey, there you go. That's
You know,
fun.
I was just it was a history class, and we were talking about uh, the Civil War and that, and our instructor, our teacher said, "Hey, I know where there's a Civil War cemetery. Let's go get in our cars and go." You know, this is high school, right? So we did. We got in our cars and followed them to this old graveyard out, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes away, hidden up on a hill. And it was really cool because there were a lot of old guys. I'd say a couple dozen graves in there. And all of them were really old, 1800s, early 1800s,
Yeah.
late 1800s. The sad part about that too, there was a lot of kids. That was a bad time for kids.
Yeah.
It was, a lot of kids died during that period.
Yeah. I've noticed that at a lot of old graveyards. You ever see the little infant ones?
Right.
And there'll be so many of them, and you'll be like, why in the world? You think, what happened? Was there a sickness or that went around, or what happened? All
Usually
around.
that's that and farming accidents, uh, a lot of miscarriages, or stillborns, and then again, like I said, a lot of sickness, a lot of disease. You get, just coming through, like now.
Right.
It happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
here's a question that our sister Rose usually asks.
Yep.
If finance was not the issue, say someone was going to pay you to go anywhere in the world to detect, but this one has two phases. Where would you go? And if you could detect with like a YouTube celebrity in that area, who would it be?
Oh man, I would probably either go to like a castle or something like that in England, or where a castle used to be. That would be awesome. But since I live in the USA, I'd have to go with like a private ground on a good battle, like, from the Civil War. And that would be awesome for me. And I would either say probably Nugget Noggin or the Hoover Boys. That's who I'd want to dig with. So
Cool.
yeah, I when I first got into like watching YouTube treasure hunting videos, at first the diggers got me interested in the hobby, and KG and Ringy started watching them on the Nat Geo, and I was like, man, I want to use Garrett like these guys and go out and find cool stuff. But then I really started to get deep into it when I started to watch treasure hunting videos on YouTube. And Nugget Noggin, man, was the first dude I got into. And his old schoolhouse videos absolutely got me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you go back and watch some of Nugget's old videos, I mean, he really does a good job finding stuff. And then it was the Hoover Boys. Then I started watching Quarter Order. But yeah.
I think that was
Boys.
the first Nugget Noggin video I watched when he was in that old schoolhouse finding them dimes and, the 4-4 stuff.
Using the
spoons.
sifter. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to try sifting at sites like that sometime. I actually made a homemade sifter to do that. Just haven't really got around to it. But there's so many different things and so many different ways I want to find treasure. It's like you only got so much time, man. And I got a full-time job and a wife and kids.
And like with me and David Villa, Bill Southern.
They're pretty much. If I was gonna go gold shooting with somebody, well, I've already been gold nugget shooting with Bennett and Two Toes. Can't forget Jeff. Can't forget Smith's Gold though, and Top Cat. But it'd be Bill and Tammy. It'd be Bill and Tammy in the desert. Maybe get Kevin Hoagland in there too.
That I've never been prospecting before for gold, man. I want to do that sometime. I've never been. That's something I always want to do. There's no gold around where I'm at, as far as I know. I mean, if anybody knows where there's a spot in Illinois where you can go look for gold or close, that'd be awesome. Let me know because
I think Rose knows.
Yeah, I was thinking you might know.
Didn't Rose say she found a creek that had a little bit of gold in it?
Well, Illinois has glacial gold just like Indiana and Ohio, and the southern part of the state would probably be the best part. You'd have to do a little research and look at glacial maps. And
it's probably all in the Shawnee National Forest. They probably won't let you do it there.
Usually in the National Forest, you can pan in sloughs.
Oh, will they let you really?
Yeah, they probably. You may need to get a
permit. Yeah.
Right.
But like anywhere, no matter where you go, you need to research the rules and regulations for the city, state, county, blah 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 blah.
Rose says she's found a few areas that were promising, but no gold found by us as of yet.
Sooner or later, he says.
Hey, what's up, Rick? Gibby's Treasures. He actually lives in my county, and he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he's a regular here.
Gibby's Treasure.
Gibby's Treasure.
Yeah.
If anybody knows where gold's at around here, he probably does, man.
Now, I'd love to go. I wouldn't mind doing something with Michael Bennett, but Nugget Noggin. But I want to go caving with Bo, with the aqua jigger, and I'd love to go river hunting with him, as long as he keeps the rabid beavers away.
Oh my gosh, did you see that video?
Yeah.
that thing was chasing him around, something fierce. It wanted a piece of him.
I don't know what Bo did to piss off that beaver, but it was psycho on him.
He was thinking I had rabies.
And I may be wrong, but David Villa is going Coker Creek in Tennessee, and I'm going, no, the Swank in Ohio.
Yeah, I found more gold in the Clear Fork at the Swank than I did at Coker Creek, but we can't really say that, Jesse. We didn't give it half a chance, but we were on our way to Dahlonega, Georgia, and other places, and just kind of crashed out at a GPA property there.
Kind of.
Yeah. Kind of. I wouldn't mind going down there though. I hear there's some good places in that part of Tennessee.
Right.
Eastern Tennessee and the Gold Belt. It's only 2 hours from my stepson's house, so.
Well, David, when you decide you're gonna head to Coker Creek, let us know. Maybe we'll hook up with you there.
We'll meet you there since you're in California. So
There's a lot of Civil War history too over Eastern Tennessee. I really want to make it over there sometime. Gatlinburg area, Smoky Mountains, and all
yeah.
that.
But my understanding is those places are really hard to detect because people don't like it. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Well, problem is, east of the Mississippi, it's all private land or protected land.
Yeah.
So permission. It isn't like going out west where you have
Yeah.
so much open land.
We had a permission to dig on private land that bordered the Shiloh battlefield in Shiloh, Tennessee, and it is on private property. You know, we got permission from the landowner.
Nice.
Me and my buddy, we signed forms and everything to right away, or if we get hurt, you know, it's our own fault, all that. And we waited way too long to get down there, dude. And it would have been such an awesome sight. And we waited too long to get down there. And what happened was some guys come in and clear cut a bunch of trees on his ground. And then it made him mad. And he's suing the people. And now he won't let nobody dig in there. We waited too long, man. Would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I had ancestors that fought at Shiloh. That would have been awesome for me to go down there and dig.
That would have been cool. Brewers says that's getting awful close to his backyard.
Is it?
Can we detect there, Jeff?
Yeah. Let me get a free pass.
Find some gold and look for Civil War artifacts.
That would be fun.
I'd like to find something from the War of 1812 up here.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because
I've never found anything from the War of 1812.
Like through Dano's area, Jesse's in Toledo, and I'm like an hour and a half south of Jesse. I'm smack dab in the middle of those two. Dano's an hour and a half south of me, and Jesse's an hour and a half north. And Mad Anthony Wayne and his troops came through all of our areas and established forts during the War of 1812. And
Right, we got Fort Meigs here in Toledo. It's actually Maumee.
yeah, and then there's down by me, there's Fort Brown, Fort Jennings, Fort Amanda, and down
Close
toward.
to me is an old fort. It's called Fort Nesbitt. It's all but gone. There used to be a sign there, but now the sign's gone. But you can look up the hill and you can kind of see where the fort was at one time. I'd love to get permission to be in there.
Is that
It was a fort from the Indian Wars.
Yeah. Well, Mad Anthony Wayne also fought in the Indian Wars, you know, because the Shawnees fought for the French,
right,
or for the British, I mean, during the War of 1812.
But it was Fort Nesbitt that sets up in the woods.
Around Fort Meigs, the people would hunt the woods for arrowheads, and there was one particular spot that there was just so many arrowheads, they literally fenced it off so you couldn't get in there anymore because there was just so many people going, and it became private property, and the people fenced it off because there was people in there all the time looking for arrowheads, and they were finding left and right. I mean, it was just.
Was that by Fallen Timbers?
No, it's just before you know when you're coming up through Maumee from the south, going over to Fort Meigs is. That real funny curve right there.
Yeah.
There's a big house up on the hill. All that property there, they used to find arrowheads all through that property.
Ooh.
So back in the, I think mid-70s, they said no more.
Oh,
you know,
man.
Got too many people just not being courteous or careful or caring about the land. So the
And
owners have no
trespassing. And,
trespassing. So, and they put a big fence around it.
yeah, you know, a few bad apples wreck it for the whole bushel.
Yeah,
Like I found it since I've moved here. I've had better luck asking farmers to prospect the streams on their leases than to walk the fields for arrowheads.
oh yeah.
They're more apt to say, yeah, you could look for gold. There's no gold here.
If they think you're not gonna find anything.
and
Hey, look who just showed up. Spider Ace Prospecting.
yeah,
How are you?
and happy birthday, Melanie. Give that wife of yours a good happy birthday kiss for the Flash crew.
The other Ed is in the house. What's up, Ed?
Say hi to Judy when you get home from work, HD.
Yeah, we find a lot of arrowheads around here. That was my dad's big hobby. He got me into it when I was a kid, and his collection is insane. I mean, he's found it all. I find them a lot while I'm out detecting. A lot of the areas are good. They're by a creek, you know, on a high rise hill or something. And I've got some arrowheads I've found that are pretty decent. But yeah, he got me into collecting coins while I was little, but a lot of arrowheads in Southern Illinois. But yeah, people are definitely picky about arrowhead hunting around here. And if you got a good hunting hole, you're lucky because there's not a lot of them left. A lot of them have been walked over by people who don't have permission or people who have permission.
Right.
But the creeks are where it's at, man. You can find some nice ones in the creeks. A lot of people don't like to do that style of arrowhead hunting, but if you can find a good creek and they were there, you're going to find every time it rains, a good gully washer rain, you know, you're going to find some arrowheads probably.
Actually, the two arrowheads I have found in Ohio and Indiana were found while I was prospecting. So,
Oh yeah.
Jesse found a wagon wheel at a permission I have local. We need to look
Right.
for that cemetery the owner told Joe about too. I know there's an old homestead there we need metal detect, but apparently there's an old pioneer cemetery in the woods on the permission I have to prospect, like 5 miles from my house. It's also stories of loot from a canal boat robbery, a payroll robbery. So
The Trail of Tears goes through Southern Illinois, and I have a great grandmother that come in off the Trail of Tears, so that was pretty cool. I got Cherokee in me from her, so.
my wife's friend promised to bring me a 5-gallon bucket full of arrowheads 3 years ago. Yep, still waiting. I'm sure you are, GoPro.
Yeah. People are more private about their permissions too, like about bringing, like you got to know somebody to go arrowhead hunting with them, you know what I'm saying? Usually around here they are anyways. They're pretty private and a lot of them go out on their own, you know?
Yeah, and I've had a lot of people go, oh, well, my grandkids do that. And like, there's farmland up the wazoo around my house. And
Yeah.
they're all like, oh, my kids do it or my grandkids. And no, and save that for them, blah, 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 blah. Well, mind if I gold pan your creek? Oh, sure, there's no gold there.
Oh yeah. Sounds about right. The arrowheads can always be found. I mean, so they know that they think the gold ain't gonna be there.
Well, like with me, sometimes my treasure hunting involves going to auctions where I can buy complete arrowhead collections. Pretty good
Right.
price.
That's why I keep plenty of hobbies. I got my bottle thing, you know, arrowheads, metal detecting, I shed hunt, mushroom hunt. which I'll never find any. If anybody knows the secret to mushroom hunting, let me know, because I don't ever find them. I like to go, but I don't ever find them. But
I've never been mushroom hunting, but I like to. Some
Never gone hunting for mushrooms.
no,
I'm sure
No,
Judy
not-
wouldn't
I'm
mind
not-
me finding some morels or something.
I'm not calling in, Brian. Not tonight.
What's up, Brian?
Superstar Brian Wilder. He's one of our Bering Sea Gold stars that frequents our show.
No, it's Brian.
Don't let that go to your head, Brian.
And Drum says he finds them by accident. Must be nice.
The arrowheads I found were by accident. I almost threw them out twice because they were in my classifier. So I shovel in my classifier, shake it out, go throw it, and oh, whoa, wait. Don't want to throw that away.
Rose says she got great morale hunting in her area.
And on her property.
Oh, I did watch a video where they went mushroom hunting one time. Yeah. Yep, I never find them. They elude me, man.
They say you come and they hide.
Yep. That's just like the seeded dime, man. I was after a seeded dime for so long. I don't know why. Everybody else would dig them next to me. They just would swing over it first or whatever. I finally found my first seeded dime about 3 weeks ago. It was 1889, and man, I was tickled to find that thing. They just eluded me for the longest time.
What's your white elephant now?
Well, it was a halftime. Then I found a half dime. I want a cat bus dime. I'd love to find a cat bus dime or a half dime. Cat bus half dime. I found a Rael. I found a half Rael. I'd like to find another Rael. That'd be cool. Because the one I found was super wiped. It had a hole in it, and I didn't get a date off of it. So it'd be cool to find one with some detail on it. Yeah, you can find Spanish around here. I mean, you can find old stuff.
Yeah, and if it had that was a lot of times their purse with old Spanish silver and stuff. They put a hole in it and stitch it in their clothing and on a string. And
yep, the first trom I found had a hole in it, and then that Rael had a hole in it. So, yep.
Yeah, it's amazing what you'll find. Coins and bottles tend to get around, huh?
Right.
Gibby's treasure says morels are around the Crooked Creek.
Oh yeah, take me, Rick. He lives like not too far from me. We go detecting sometimes. Me and Gibby's treasure, Rick.
Well, now you can hit him up for some mushrooms.
Yeah, he's been out to one of my ghost town sites.
That
Yeah,
ghost town interesting as hell.
I brought a buddy out one time, and he's the vice president of our club, and he found a freaking 1801 Spanish 8 Rael, man. And
ooh, nice.
yeah, in a spot like it was all right. We went out there to do this where this cabin sat at, right? And this hill sat close to that. And I had scanned by there, a little bit, but not a lot. But we just happened to get on that one spot that I didn't. We get out there, he dug a sterling silver spoon, and then we start digging flat buttons, and then boom, he pops an 1801 8 Rael, and that's all we found right there. That's it. But man, it made our whole day. It made my day just seeing him dig it, man. And it's my permission. And I don't care to bring people to my permissions. I love to do that. I just want it found. I want the stuff found. If someone finds it, that's awesome. It ain't gotta be me, so it made my day just as much as it made his day. So, and it made for good YouTube. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. That'd be a great find.
Yeah. So how long you been doing YouTube videos?
only like a year and a half, man. So not very long. I've actually, I just hit 1,000 about 2-3 months ago, and so
1250 or something like that.
the channel's doing pretty good for a year and a half.
Now, have
That was my
you?
goal. That was my goal to hit 1,000. I hit 1,000, and really I just started doing videos because I wanted my son to be able to see me on my adventures and stuff, you know, when he gets older, because I would have loved to be able to go on YouTube and watch my dad find all his arrowheads, you know. That would have been awesome. So now my son's gonna be able to go and watch these videos and like, oh look, there's my dad. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
your son's gonna be, man, my dad's a YouTube star. And all his friends are like, oh, really? Cool, man. Can I get his autograph? Now, speaking of that, has anyone ever approached you yet and say, man, you look familiar. I know you. You're Ski Searcher.
Dude, no, that's never happened.
It will.
Not yet. It
When you're
hasn't
out
happened yet.
somewhere,
And
not
I
doing
told
it.
my wife, I was like, what are you gonna do one day when someone comes up and says, hey, are you Ski Searcher? No, that has not happened yet. But
It will.
Believe
It
it
will.
or not, even a
It's- I don't-
small channel like mine, it has happened.
yeah, I mean, I only got like 1,250 subscribers, you know, but no telling who's seen your videos, you know. You
Jesse
don't have
has less than 400, and it happened to him in
Are you serious?
Arkansas.
Was it at a Walmart?
Oh,
No, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
did have someone recognize my voice in Menards.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah,
Like that's Ed from Flash in Your Pants.
actually, he says, I hear Ed in the shed. And I go, yes, you do.
You got a very recognizable voice. I will give you that.
well, that's how I was recognized too. I was doing a little video on there at Crater of Diamonds, right? On what we were doing, classifying and searching, right? And I'm talking to the camera, and some guy, I know that voice. I know who that is. You know, so yeah, it happens. You're I don't know. People just recognize voices,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so when it happens, you know, expect it to happen at some point. Someone's gonna come up to you and act like they know all about you, you know how many pimples you got on your butt, you know, everything about you, right? They know all about you. But
My dad's got a very recognizable voice. I always think of the Macho Man when I think of my dad. And he looks like my dad looks like Hank Williams Jr., dude. If he puts on a cowboy hat, he wears these dark sunglasses and he has a
like a
beard.
macho.
He looks like Hank, and he sounds like Macho Man. It's funny. Oh yeah, bro.
Oh yeah. Second choice.
Right on.
But
Let
yeah,
me
just,
some old
just-
wrestling.
yeah, just when it happens, it's cool, but be wary. Be aware.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I just don't expect to happen. You know, you just don't think of yourself like that, you know. And
Right, you don't, and then that's when it's gonna happen. But it's okay. I mean, as long as they ain't rushing you or nothing, you know.
yeah, like I want to go to like a big event. Like I've never been to a dig stock, and I've seen this past dig stock. They've dug some amazing stuff out there. It's like you got all these YouTubers together. It's like that'd be cool to go to. You know, I've never been to a big thing like that yet. So, I mean, I know I'd be approached by other people because most of the people I've seen at dig stock, you know, in the videos and stuff, I talk to on YouTube all the time. It's like, but I've never met in person. You know what I'm saying? So.
Terry Curry wants to know if anyone ever been ticked off at you because your channel wasn't about skiing.
No, but people sometimes think that, yeah, that's what it is. I'm like out trying to find treasure or skiing. And it's like, no, it's this stuff right here. If you don't know, if you come to Southern Illinois, this stuff right here, man, ski.
It's the bomb.
You can't find it everywhere. You really can't. It's a Southern Illinois thing. They got it in Kentucky, in Tennessee, maybe some other places, but it's not too far from the region that they bottle it. But yeah, they call it it comes out of Clinton County where they bottle it. So they call it Clinton County crack. That's what everybody calls it. So it's good stuff.
That is funny, BC Trails.
What do you say?
He says, he's been told stories about himself out at the
Oh.
local Panic Creek, and they had no idea who I was.
Hey, he
That's
actually
gotta be
does.
funny.
He actually does. I seen a video of his one time. He's actually skiing and metal detecting, dude. Like straight up.
That's cool. Hey, Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting. I'm doing good, thanks. Dano lost internet. He's back. Oh,
Oh.
he's gone. That
Oh, yeah, it
damn
was happening.
update.
Right. Computer was updated. We still got Ski too. Matt, you still here?
Yeah, we still have Matt.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Now, what's your plans for the future of Ski Searcher Television?
Man, I want to do some collabs and travel further. That's what I want to do. My wife's not gonna like it, but I want to go.
Well, if you ever have an inkling to do some gold panning or prospecting, and you're in Ohio area, let us know. And bring the whole family. We don't care, right, Jesse?
Heck yeah, we're family friendly
Yeah.
for the most.
Right. All right.
I'm gonna say for the most part, you know.
Sounds good. Love to prospect sometime. That'd be awesome.
It's fun. Add something else to the arsenal the wife could get mad at.
Yeah, it's
Right.
that's got to hit differently. Finding a gold nugget, I can only imagine.
Go find a gold nugget.
Yeah.
Well, neither one of us has filled up the jar our wives asked us. And when when you fill this up, I'll stop bitching.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey, I didn't mean that.
And so I'm like nowhere near it, but hey, I keep trying.
Yeah, different treasures make you feel different emotions. Like I did a ring recovery the other day. It was only the second one I ever did. The first one I didn't find it, but because the guy said in the area where he thought he dropped it, he had a bunch of stuff piled there, and we think it might have been underneath that, and he didn't want to remove it, so I didn't find it. But this time, it was the other day, the guy was flinging pumpkins, man, at the edge of the woods. He just got married like a week ago. So, and he lost his wedding ring already. So he said he's flinging pumpkins and the ring flew off. So he's not a metal detector, but he had a cheap little bounty hunter. You know how people do, they like go to freaking the, Rural King or something. They buy a little cheap bounty hunter and they have that just for, in case they want to go out and they're not serious about it. Well, he had one of those. And so he was looking for the ring, could not find it. They call me up. Dude, I kid you not, within 5 minutes, dude, I had this ring found. And it was so awesome because it was really thick where he lost it at in the woods there. And he said it was trashy right there. I was like, I'm not going to find this freaking thing. 5 minutes, within 5 minutes, dude, it was a 55-54 on the 18 max. It was a tungsten ring too. I had no idea what a tungsten ring would ring that fast. I didn't know if it would be a high or low tone. I just knew that tone was going to be a solid tone, steady on the top because it was on top, Right. And that thing was like, bing, bing, bing. I was like, are you kidding me? I got my pin pointer out, dug in the leaves. I was like, I got it, dude. And he looked at me, he's like, already? He said, I was like, yeah, dude, I got your freaking ring. And the look and reaction on his face was a completely different feeling for me, seeing him so happy than going out and finding something for myself, like in a ghost town or whatever. That hit completely differently, doing a ring recovery. And then when his wife found out, he got on the phone, he called his wife, and we just went out in the woods there, and she was back at the house. When I come back up, her reaction, man, they were both so freaking happy I found this ring, man. It was a good experience.
You gotta we're getting a rise out of some bounty hunter users in the room.
Did I ruffle some feathers? Hey, you can find stuff with bounty hunter. I was just using that as an example, people that go out and buy the cheapest detective
like
costume.
A Radio Shack piece of.
That's exactly what I mean. He just bought that. That
Stop
one
that.
everybody
I
buys.
am
when they-
one.
Oh, now I'm ruffling feathers. I'll get in the same boat as Matt. We'll ruffle feathers together.
You remember the Radio Shack ones? The orange ones that like they had at Radio Shack? See, I
Yeah.
had one of those when I was a kid. And I used to mess around with it, but I had no clue what I was doing, you know. But that's the very first detector I ever had. Then I had an Ace 250, then graduated to AT Max, and now I use the Knox 800 a little bit. But you can find stuff with cheap detectors. You just got to be in the right spot.
Right.
The famous Radio Shack melody.
There you go.
You
Hey,
got
no-
dials.
no
You got
shame.
dials in the front.
And the one he had was a super small little detector. I don't know what type of bounty hunter it was, but it looked like probably the cheapest one they had.
From
But
that,
he wasn't serious about the hobby, you know. He just had one just to have, you know.
One
From
more
that to-
can goes, hell yeah, Radio Shack. Woohoo!
from that to this.
That's his gold monster. Dano and I swing Equinox 800s. They found me 3 nuggets I was happy with.
I got a couple ace. I got an Ace 350 and a Max. 18.
I thought the max was rubies.
You don't use it.
Yeah, a lot of people use the Pro.
85.
A lot of people use the AT Pro. I've never used the Pro, but I'd like to try the Pro. I went straight to the Max, but a lot of people like the Pro better than the tones on the Max. But I've never used the Pro, but
Gotta learn them.
yeah.
Yeah.
My phone battery said I had 2%.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
Well, it's about that time anyway. Close to 2 hours. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, man, it's been a good show. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
fun.
Oh, glad you made it, man.
The longest running treasure hunting live show. Boom. I did
On
it.
YouTube. You bet ya. June 22nd will be 5 years that, and we have yet to miss a Tuesday night. First time
That's
I
awesome.
was close to it was the other week. You know, I was sick, Jesse was sick, Rose was out of commission, and I almost threw in the towel on it, but no, the show must go on.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
GPU, yeah, there was plenty of it. He showed bottles, he showed some of his
You
wines.
showed all kinds of stuff, Jeff,
You-
but you were working. You missed it. Now, do you have a Morgan dollar handy?
Yeah, I do. I showed it earlier. The lighting wasn't that great, but
Here, just for you, GoPro Unlimited, just for you.
hold on, let me get the light. I don't know if you can see that sucker. Probably not.
Well, the
It's a
light's
Morgan
behind.
dollar.
It's a Morgan dollar, Jeff. That's what you
It's
get.
a big black circle.
Damon, how you doing, brother? West Coast
David.
Gold Prospecting.
Secret Creek Prospecting is in the house. Rocky
Yeah.
Mountain Lake Prospecting is in the
Our
house.
West Coast family and fellow Washingtonians.
What's up, Gold Pro? Thank you.
LBPA for life.
Thank you, Jeff, for putting Matt's channel link up there. If you're not yet subscribed to Matt, and you know I'm not a sub for sub channel, but I do support the treasure hunting hand. And if you like what you see over at Matt's channel, by all means, show him some Flash Fam love.
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you very much, Terry. Good night.
Night, Terry. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I definitely hope you had a good time with us, Matt. I told you it was a lot like us sitting around the fire and BSing and
Yeah, man, it was a blast, man. I enjoyed talking treasure hunting and history with you guys for sure. Thanks everybody who joined the chat.
Oh yeah, well, we love our chat room, man. They're the greatest.
yes, they are from all the fingers of the treasure hunting hand. We have magnet fishers.
Speaking of which, you ever tried that magnet fishing?
Me, I have
Yeah.
not, man. That's one thing that I have not put in my arsenal yet, but maybe in
Well,
the future.
I happen to know a couple of magnet fishers that don't live too far away from you. Maybe
Yeah, I
you
know.
could collab
Treasure.
with the Vixens sometime.
Yeah, the treasure vixens I see in their videos they do.
They're awesome people too. Awesome people.
Unfortunately, Rose is under the weather, so she couldn't be here tonight. Otherwise, she'd be here grilling you.
Yeah.
We've probably been at some parties, the same parties back in the day, probably. I'm sure.
Rose, one of our favorite vixens, says, will you tell him? Yes, I'll tell Matt. We would love to collab with you. They
Yeah.
also
Awesome.
detect and bottle hunt too.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
And hunt
Come on.
shrooms and all kinds of stuff.
heck yeah.
Brian Wilder said he's magnet fish in Nome Harbor and found a lot of sockets and wrenches.
Right as the tax, I'm sure.
River Rat, how you doing? Good to
River Rat.
see you, Bo. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us for the last 2 hours. I hope
Yep.
all of you had as good of a time as we have. Let me see. Who do we have coming up? On the 23rd, we have MDV from ipanforgold.com joining us. It's been a while since Michael's been on the show. Should be a good time. Other than that, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, he's
It's
always
been
got-
a pleasure hanging out with you for the last couple hours. Toledo Jess, Dano, thank you very much. Rose, I hope you're able to join us next week, sis. We love you. And we love all of you out there, the Flash fam. Thanks again. Until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's going to say next.
That's right, Jesse, because it does happen. It happened to you and me on the river. Dano too, Rose and Angela and Otis
Patrick.
Ferris and Patrick Moore and so many other people. So many. Maybe one day too, we'll meet you on the river. But in Matt's case, it could be the river, the field, the ghost town, or the Pioneer Trail. You never know. Good night, everybody. God bless. Love you
Night,
all.
folks.
See you next week.
All right, guys.
Good night, Brian.
Good
Get
night,
off your head.
everybody. You're more than welcome. Kick back if you want.
Good night, Otis. Rose, CPU.
Why we say goodbye. That's right. LBPA for life.
3, 2,
If you know, you know.
Thank you again for the wonderful job you do.
Yes, Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator and the voice of Red's
The voice.
Points and Collectibles
Yes.
live flash auctions.
Bruce Prospecting.